Hey, it's AK Helm. And this week on Boss at the Helm, we've covered 8 ways to recognize a team member or employee because recognition is important. It helps people feel valued. And as a leader, it also helps you indicate to your team what you want to see more of. That's why it's critical that you know and establish your culture and your values up front so people get an idea and you know what everybody's aiming towards. Then make sure you're reminding people verbally and through your own behavior and actions. And then, and this is why we're sharing the ideas, because we want to recognize and celebrate what you want to see more of across your team and the organization. Recognition can't and really shouldn't always be only about money. People do want to get paid. They do want bonuses and spot incentives. Money is good. And once you have established that you're paying people fairly and rewarding them in different ways, then you can look for additional ways that you might be able to recognize people, sometimes with a budget, sometimes without. So far this week, we've covered thanking someone directly, publicly, and when they aren't in the room. Showing appreciation is really important, but we often forget that there's a lot of people who don't hear us or notice or observe what we're appreciating or who we're appreciating. It tends to happen in smaller groups, 2 and 3 and 10. When you want more people on the team and in the company to understand what is valued and what you would like to see more of, whether that's actual work behaviors, company values, objectives and targets achieved, wherever it falls on that spectrum, let people hear it. Be sure to thank people to their face and make sure that you tell other people what you're thankful for, what you're appreciating, what you're recognizing. Second one, notice something people do. So everybody wants to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed, and to feel valued. And when you notice and then take time to engage with somebody about the things that they do, it makes them feel good. So maybe they help out. They're cleaning up the break room all the time, or they wrapped their arms around a new hire that isn't even on their team and help them learn the ropes. Whatever the things are that you really notice that make a positive contribution and difference, be sure to appreciate and comment on them. You can take it a step further. You may notice something that really isn't tied to what we do specifically in the workplace. But if somebody shows up every Wednesday with a bike helmet, it really creates a sense of connection and engagement if you say, hey, tell me more about that. Number 3, gift a small token of appreciation. Even better, if you can learn something personal, like somebody does bike to work on Wednesdays because they're part of a bike club, or they really love cats, and you make that small token personal to them, it really makes them feel seen. So notice people in small ways that count. 4, put them in the spotlight. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone wants to be recognized in big, bold, loud, flashy ways. Some people do want the center stage and the spotlight, and so if you can grant that, reward them with it. And recognize that there are other types of recognition, and people want to be called out and noticed in different ways. So appreciate a variety of behaviors, attributes, contributions, and skills. And do it regularly, consistently. Let people know what you're looking for, but also make sure that they understand that every Friday you're going to have a chat shout out, or maybe there's a monthly hooray email and their name can go in it. You could potentially include them in the quarterly division newsletter. Whatever it is, it's the consistency and noticing people specifically for actions, behaviors, mindsets, and contributions. Number 5, do you have a roving collector's item? Yeah, there are a lot of interesting ones out there in different companies and teams. I've seen knee socks passed around, clean ones. I've seen a really strange trophy and a golden egg. There are really a lot of different quirky examples. And it isn't necessarily that the thing itself is valuable, it's that people understand that if you get it, you've done something amazing. And then you rope the recipient into helping celebrate the next person as they pass it around to people who really deserve to be recognized for something special. Number 6, Give them the best parking spot. I've spent all week searching for parking spots and paying for parking as I'm traveling this week, and parking can be a really big deal. Now, you maybe don't have everybody coming to work, and so you may have to look for creative examples. If people aren't back in the office, maybe you buy them some gas or you sponsor their next bicycle maintenance. If they are coming to work but they don't drive, perhaps you buy their train or bus ticket. Or if there isn't budget for things like that, get creative and thoughtful. Maybe you can come up with the team's top 10 or favorite suggestions for audiobooks, podcasts, music, and share it around. Sometimes taking the time to recommend something is really valued. Number 7, send them a box of swag. Swag still works. Yeah, it's kind of strange to me because I think, who needs another t shirt? But people ask for this a lot. Now, I want you to keep in mind, if you got a bigger budget, make your swag even better. One time I worked for a company that gave everybody a t shirt and they bought a new tree sapling to be planted for each employee, 30,000 employees. They had a bigger swag budget. If you can do it, great. But I want you to keep in mind when it comes to small gifts and swag, they only work if you have already established a positive team culture. If people know that they're appreciated for what they do at work, if they enjoy being part of the team, if you spend all week running around and screaming, ranting, complaining, pushing people, and then you give them a coffee mug, that doesn't work. That's going to bounce back. So it's swag and a fair wage and a great workplace. Number 8, make a window decal or a bumper sticker, or maybe something that hangs from the rearview mirror. It's going to depend a little bit on your environment and culture. But again, we're talking about creating a sense of quirky pride in being acknowledged. People wear logos and emblems all the time. You see shirts and hats and sneakers. Sometimes they don't even know what it is, but most of the time, they have a sense of pride in what they're wearing, in the logo that they represent. And that's what you're aiming for, a symbol of appreciation tied to teamwork and an affirmative spirit, something that makes people smile and say, well, see, I work for this really cool company, and my boss is always appreciating this, and I got this for, and then they fill in the blank. We've got more ideas coming up. We're going to spend 31 days talking about ways that you can recognize people in a variety of monetary and non-monetary ways. But what about you? Did this spark any creative ideas? Did you have something that you liked and you're going to try it to recognize others? Maybe you've got your own additional ideas. If so, share it because we want more people feeling appreciated, valued, seen, and heard. Spread the joy. If you like this content, we want you to like it. Click the button, subscribe, and show up here every Friday when we release new Boss at the Helm mini but mighty episodes on YouTube. And there's plenty of past videos, so feel free to check them out. Be a boss, use your power for the good of yourself and those around you.